Primetime local news, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Welcome to Primetime Local News. I'm Leanne Sanders. A 25-year-old Lloydminster man wanted on a Canada-wide warrant was arrested in the border city yesterday. RCMP observed the man, who was unlawfully at large, entering a home in the 4300 block of 32nd Street. Police evacuated several nearby homes as a precaution. Several people left the house, but one man refused to exit. After several hours of negotiations, the suspect surrendered and was taken into custody. Michael Patrick Hill from Lloydminster has been arrested. During the search of the home, police found cocaine and meth, along with additional evidence of drug trafficking. Hill was remanded in custody and is scheduled to be in court next week. Some major projects are on the table as the city considers its 2024 budget. The proposed budget plans total more than $6 million for transportation services. It covers the city's fleet vehicles, the airport, and streets and roads. Mayor Gerald Albers says they're a big priority for the city.
Talking to people, they often comment on our streets. And I wish we had the smoothest streets in town, but if we did, I don't know what else we would have, because asphalt is a challenge in this country. We're about to go through the freeze-thaw cycle again as we go into winter. Our road team does a great job of maintaining, trying to patch, as well as resurface roads.
It is proposed that next year will see over $4.5 million going towards roadway services, with an additional $2 million towards fleet services.
Are where they see issues and how they'll address them, and that's what we've got, and we've received that for every department in the city. And I encourage the taxpayers and the residents of the city to visit the city website. That information is all there. We just spent 7.5 hours basically working through this document, so I encourage them to make a light day of reading.
Another $1.9 million is proposed to go toward the airport parking lot rehab. The long-running Gift of Christmas toy drive has launched in Lloydminster. For the 43rd year, children who may otherwise go without will receive a gift through the community's generosity. Heather Clagis with Real Country 95.9 says there are families who really benefit from the toy drive.
We know that for whatever reason, there are families in our community that they're stretched very thin and they're unable to maybe be able to stretch to make that purchase of a toy for their kid this Christmas. So this way, every child has a gift to open up on Christmas morning, and it's all thanks to the generosity of our community.
Clagis says the toy drive has always gotten a lot of support.
We've had incredible support in the past, and I think it was about 6 years ago we partnered with the Olive Tree, and we've really seen it grown since then, and we've really seen how we've been able to help more and more families because of that partnership. But also we're able to help out because so many people in the community do support it and do make that donation. So we can't do it without the generosity of our community, and it really helps bring the spirit of Christmas, I think, to a lot of homes.
A new unwrapped toy, gift, or gift cards for girls and boys up to the age of 18 can be dropped off at locations around the city, including Winners and HomeSense, Furniture Gallery, and Willow Creek Clothing and Collectibles. Donations will be accepted until December 9th. And Thomas Wildman is back to have another look at the weather. Thomas, it was a pretty chilly morning this morning, -10 when I looked at the temperatures. What are we looking ahead to?
Yeah, so it's going to probably be like that for a while. Of course, we are getting lucky here, and as far as I can tell, we're not going to be seeing a lot of snow. And the other big thing I want to stress is the fact that we are way warmer than we have been in the past in November. Just usually we're not dealing with such warm temperatures. As you can see here on our almanac, we're sitting at a nice high of 3 degrees for today. On normal, it's at usually about a 1 degree, and then a -9 for the normal. Only a -2 low for us today. So that's actually absolutely fantastic. And another thing, we've not really been feeling that snow hitting us that bad right now. Taking a look at the current conditions as a whole, we're looking at 2 degrees. With the wind chill, it's going to be down to that -3 as mentioned. So that's kind of where we're going to be feeling throughout the night. Of course, it's going to get a little bit cooler as the night continues on. 55% humidity right now. So just with that little bit of snow we got earlier in the week on the Sunday, we're just not feeling that right now. Looking at North Battleford, they're sitting at 4 degrees with their wind chill. They're down to just a nice cool 0. Lots of clouds out there though, so they're going to be feeling that wind maybe a little bit harder than we are here in the border city. And Cold Lake's going to be our cold place for today here. 0 degrees with that wind chill. They're going down to -4, 55% humidity out at Cold Lake. Taking a look now at the current temperatures here in our region, we're seeing pretty much similar here close to home. Vermilion and Wainwright sitting at 3 degrees, Provost down south sitting at 4 degrees. As we go towards Edmonton, Vegreville and at 4 degrees, and Edmonton itself at 3 degrees. Up north a bit, Bonnyville and St. Paul sitting at that 2 degree range. Cold Lake currently down to that -1 as mentioned, and Marwayne at 2 degrees with Lac La Biche at 0 degrees a little bit further north. Now taking a look now at our Saskatchewan side, we got Isle Cross, which is going to be sitting at that -4 degrees right now. Pierceland at 1 degree, Green Lake at 0 degrees, and that -1 at Meadow Lake. Very different little bit of temperatures there in that region. They're usually quite similar. St. Walburg at 1 degree, similar to us here in Lloydminster. Maidstone at 2, and then Macklin and North Battleford at 3 degrees. Taking a look now at tonight's forecast, we're going to be breezy this evening, but otherwise it's going to be just partly cloudy and low of -2. It's actually a very nice evening for you guys today, and 10% chance of precipitation, so that's likely not going to be turning into much. Now taking a look at North Battleford, they're going to be about the same, very cloudy though out there. In Saskatchewan though, it's going to be partly cloudy later on in the evening though as we get closer to the dawn in the morning. Then taking a look now at Cold Lake, they're going to be -4, and it's going to get clearer as the night goes on, so you should have some clearer mornings as we go into Cold Lake for tomorrow on your Friday. But now taking a look at your guys' 3-day forecast here. As been mentioning throughout the week, Friday is going to be sitting at a nice 9 degrees with that low of -2. So similar to today, though quite a bit warmer. Going to be a little windy though in the morning. Saturday it's going to be sunshine and mildy with an 8 and a low of -3. And then on Sunday we're going to be sitting at 5 and -5. So those cold days are going to be coming. But that's going to be a good look at our first weather. I'll send it back over to Leanne with some more news headlines.
The Lakeland Rustlers men's volleyball team has had an excellent start to their season, going 5-1, and this success has gained them some national attention. Our Thomas Wildman has more.
The Lakeland Rustlers would have appeared to be in a young rebuilding year from the outset of the season, with no players with more than 3 years of college experience on the roster. However, the men have come together and become a very solid unit, who started off the season with a 4-game winning streak.
I think, we have a good group of guys this year that after they had a most successful season in program history last year. So since day one, we showed up and we all had that, same mind goal of that excellency. So, and when every time you step in the gym, you have that level of excellence and expectation from the guys. We're going to produce results, I think, or have our best shot at it anyways. And we had it's a fairly new group, like myself. I was a transfer and we had another couple guys come in, so I think we did a really good job from day one, just gelling as a core.
The team's excellence certainly hasn't gone unnoticed, as the CCAA ranked them 13th in the country. This is the first time that the Lakeland Rustlers men's volleyball team has ever ranked nationally.
Yeah, it's huge for our guys. I mean, they put the work in every day, and it's taken a long time for this program to get built back up to where we want it to be. And I think you come and watch our matches. We're in every match every weekend against any opponent. So I think it's just great for our guys to get that kind of recognition for all the hard work they put in.
Currently, the Rustlers sit second in the ACAC North standings and have a chance to make some noise in the provincial and national championships.
Well, I know my goal is definitely I want to try and medal at nationals, but we've first got to get through provincials. But I think at least this year we've got a good shot at making some noise and getting up there and doing something. But if not this year, we've got next year, which will be an even more experienced squad. But yeah, hopefully we can pull it off this year and play well.
Thomas Wildman, Primetime, local news.
Time now for a look at the pics you sent us of your pets.
We want to see your pets. Send photos of your pet and their name to have them featured on Pet of the Day.
I'm very happy to be joined here today with Janice Procession with the Lloydminster Christmas Angels. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thanks for having me.
Of course. Now, the Lloydminster Christmas Angels has been around for 12 years now. Tell me about the Christmas Angels for people who may not know. I know we talked about this last year as well, but it's a good reminder for people to know what the Lloydminster Christmas Angels truly is.
Okay. So 12 years ago, I've wanted to longer than that, do something for a family at Christmas that, was struggling, could use some Christmas cheer. But I didn't know how to go about picking a family. So I decided that I couldn't do it financially by myself. So I went on Facebook. I think it was on one of the local groups and put it out there, is anybody interested? And I had all these messages, and honestly, it had me in tears. So the first year we went through, I didn't do it on my own. I had, I think the Interval Home find a family for me. So we collected everything and they delivered it. So we never got to meet the family, talk to them or anything. And the next year I thought I'm going to find a family on my own. So we pretty well have just had people nominate families that are going through a health crisis. Unfortunately, we can't do financial. There's too many people, unfortunately, suffering financial difficulties, and I would love to help them all, but we can't. So I decided to go with somebody going through, a significant loss, losing a loved one tragically, suddenly, going through a health issue. And that's how it started, was people would nominate a family. And then I would pick the family or two, and we would do stockings for them, presents, food for Christmas breakfast, Christmas supper, did I say presents? I forget. And that's kind of how it began. But then I didn't want to be the one deciding on the family. So I started going into voting. So whoever was in our group would vote on the family or two. It's normally two. I think one year we did one, who they wanted to provide for. So right now, this year, I only have 5 families nominated. And right now it's getting voted on, and we haven't decided. Probably this weekend we'll be deciding on the family. And then sometimes people join the group out of curiosity and they, might not want to take part. So then I don't have the help that I might need to do 2 families. So depending how that goes, we will pick another family next week if the help is there.
That sounds incredible. And Lloydminster has such a great way of coming together and helping those
Honestly,
in
yes.
need, which is fantastic. And the fact that this has been going on for over a decade now, it's incredible, and it keeps on continuing. So
Yes.
for this year, if people do want to help out and to, drop off gifts, or, not necessarily be a part of the group, but still want to drop off gifts, how can they do so, or what do they need to do in order to take part in the Christmas Angels?
Okay, so we're only on Facebook. I'm not on Instagram or anything else. Facebook's good enough. So it's Lloydminster Christmas Angels 2023. It's a private group, so they have to just ask to join, and I will let them in. And then they can read, the info, whether they want to provide once the family is voted for, I give the information, the age and first name, last names are never used, of the child, the adult, and some of their likes and dislikes. Now, once a family is voted for, whoever nominated them, needs to find out, first of all, if the family is open to receiving these gifts. I've had one turn it down. They just felt somebody else could use it more than them. So then we get some information on what they like, any hobbies, sizes, etc. And then people can decide, I want to do the stocking for little Johnny, whatever. And they'll purchase all the stocking stuffers. Or I want to buy a gift for mom or anything. So then then it gets busy. I start kind of the organizing of what we have and then the food, I have one lady that quite often will bring the turkey and we do a ham, just all the fixings, take the groceries to them and delivery is always quite an emotional night. Yeah, actually, not only delivery for the family, but when people bring their gifts here or anything to drop off with me, I usually have goosebumps. I sometimes have tears. I've met so many people over the years. They've joined and they've been continuing to, so we have our little annual visit and it's just wonderful. Honestly, this city is just wonderful.
No, that sounds incredible. And it goes something small like this can really make a huge difference for someone,
Mm-hmm.
for an entire family, like you said, who's going through, whether it's a medical crisis, whether someone in their family is going through something medical, or they just lost somebody too.
Yeah,
Christmas is a very hard time
it
to
is.
be going through something like that because, there's always this Christmas is about coming together as a family and stuff. So
Yeah.
having that kind of familial loss or crisis going on, it can be really hard to find Christmas joy and cheer,
Yes.
as they say. So I think this isn't fantastic. And you're helping, may not be able to help a ton of families, but you're helping at least one or two. And that
Mm-hmm.
a world of difference to them and
Mm-hmm.
pay it forward as well.
Yes.
So is there anything else that you would like to add that I may have missed?
I don't think so. There's time to join, even though the families have been nominated. There's still time to jump on board and vote for a family or invite your friends to the group. It feels so good to give. I've got a couple tags here from the co-op Christmas tree that the seniors tree that I've picked. And honestly, I look forward to that every year. It feels good to give. That's what Christmas is about, is giving. I have goosebumps right now. It just feels good to give. And there's people going through such tough things, and I just want them to know that the community cares about them. Oh my gosh, tears coming. And yeah, just
Well,
to bring a bit of joy to them.
yes, absolutely. Well, that's amazing. And what you've been doing for over a decade, for 12 years now, has definitely made a difference. And it just adds to the community as a
Yeah,
whole. And it just brings that kind of joy and cheer to those who, hard to find sometimes
yeah,
when you're going
yeah.
through something. So that's fantastic. And I appreciate you taking the time to speak with me about this. I think this is so wonderful what you've been doing. So thank you so much for joining me again.
Thank you so much, Abby.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery, downtown Lloydminster.
We are joined here by Alicia Eichel, who's a very talented country singer-songwriter out of Central Alberta. Alicia, it is an absolute pleasure to get you on today. We are going to be talking about your new song, Unbroken, which is very inspiring and very beautiful. But first, since this is your first time on Primetime Local News, tell us a bit more about yourself.
Yeah, well, I am a country singer from Central Alberta, born and raised in BC, but I call Alberta home. And I also was living part time down in Nashville, so I still spend a lot of time down there. And this is my baby Cash, my Frenchie, named after the great Johnny Cash, of course. And he's like, you know what? I just want to be part of this today. So here he is. I have a band and we play a lot of shows throughout Central Alberta. We've had a really busy last few years, which has been awesome. And I also songwrite, record, release music, tour, teach music, and I'm also an interior designer. So there's a lot of things that I do.
You are such a well-rounded artist, and I absolutely love that. Your 2023, from what I saw on social media, was just jam-packed with wonderful, wonderful things. Tell us a bit more about it.
Yeah, 2023 was a great year. I was able to get back down to Nashville a few times, spent a ton of time down there, recorded new music, did some writing. And my band and I were super busy through the summer. It was one of our busiest summers yet. Played the Pinoca Stampede, which was a huge show, over 4,000 people at both of those shows. So it was a lot of fun, and some Calgary Stampede events. We played all over Alberta, which was awesome. And yeah, it's just been a really great year. Definitely feeling very blessed to be busy again.
For sure. That has been such a great part about 2023. Everything has kind of come back to normal, which has been fantastic. Now, you are wrapping up this year with a brand new song, Unbroken, which we're going to be talking about in a second. But first, what can we expect in 2024? What do you got planned?
Well, 2024, we're already booking shows into 24, which is exciting. So hoping for another super busy year of shows, a busy summer, of course, of shows. I'll be spending more time down in Nashville. Can't wait to get back there again, writing, recording, just, keeping at it, just bringing out new music and keeping on doing what I love and doing what I'm blessed to do every day.
So your song Unbroken, absolutely incredible. And it is a song to inspire women to stay strong. So tell us a bit more about what inspired the song and how you wrote it.
Absolutely. So, when I was in my early 20s, a lot of people don't know this, but I was in a very short marriage. It was unfortunately very controlling and abusive. There was a lot of really hard stuff that went on in that. And thankfully, it only lasted a year and a half. And he chose other things ultimately. And, I was trying to make things work, but thankfully it ended. And there was a lot of healing to go through after that. There was a lot of stuff to go through, and there was a lot of stuff that continued for years on after, that was really tough with that. And for the first while, I found it kind of like it felt like a bit of a scar, that I didn't really want people to see, and I'm very ashamed of it and everything. And then I realized, scars can be beautiful, and they make us who we are. And oftentimes, when we share our stories, it can help inspire others. So I started to share my story a little bit and found that other women were resonating with my story, and it was inspiring them to stand up, to be treated the way that we deserve to be treated. If we're going to love and respect someone, we deserve the same love and respect back, and we deserve to feel safe and feel loved. So I've written songs about it in the past, but never really put anything out. And Unbroken came about in the summer, just paralleling it to a wild horse and the freedom of a wild palomino. Wild horses have always been dear to me, and horses. And so I wrote it with Robert Abernathy in Nashville. And we just, wanted to write something that, told the story, didn't tell too many crazy details, but told the story, and it was inspiring and really inspire women and others to, be unbroken and know that, even if you go through something, you can heal and you can be free and you can be, run free like a wild palomino. So I've had a lot of women reach out that it's inspired them and helped them. And that's really all that matters. When you put a song out, even if it helps one person, it's definitely worth it.
The song is absolutely stunning. And I know a lot of women are very thankful that you did speak up and that you did release this song to the world.
Mhm.
So, Alicia, where can everybody get this song Unbroken?
Yeah, so you can find this on Spotify, Apple, Amazon. So please check it out. Please share it. And, I hope that it inspires others and that everyone enjoys it.
Wonderful. Well, Alicia and Cash, thank you so much for joining me today. It was an absolute pleasure getting to talk with you.
Vancouver-born actor Ryan Reynolds has officially been inducted as a member of the Order of British Columbia. The Deadpool star received the honor, the highest a citizen can receive, during a private ceremony on Wednesday. Premier David Eby posted these photos to social media, saying that Reynolds exemplifies the best of British Columbia. Good for him. I'd have to say that I think, aside from Deadpool, he's probably pretty universally liked in Canada.
Is Deadpool something that people dislike, or?
Well, it's maybe not everybody's taste. It's a little violent.
Okay, well, I was just about. I'll keep my. I love Deadpool. Those are two of my top two favorite movies. But I think with him and the guy from Barbie, what's his name?
Ryan Gosling.
Ryan Gosling. They're the kind of
two.
They're the two best Canadian actors, and I will stand by that no matter what. But yeah, two just exceptional actors, and he's a very nice man as well.
All right, that's all we have for you tonight. Thanks for joining us.